The world can be a dangerous place. Gear up with the industry's original and most trusted laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Equipping your firearm with laser and light systems will enhance your effectiveness and help keep you and your family out of harm's way. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com and receive a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge. Crimson Trace.
I'm a gun owner.
Your views, advice, and questions are the driving force of Gun Talk.
You know, I don't think that guns are scary things.
Visit us online at www.guntalk.com. Call Tom now at 866-TALK-GUN, 866-825-5486. Let us know what you think about the gun-related issues of the day. Now, back to Gun Talk.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you're here. When I'm offline here, what am I doing? I'm talking about guns with other folks. So we're having a bunch of fun. If you'd like to join us, it's pretty easy. You can call us, be on the air, 866-TALK-GUN. Shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. People are doing that. I'm getting their information. And also over on Twitter, I am looking for your comments, your conversations. In fact, we've got a whole bunch of them just popped up there. So, by the way, I just put something on Twitter. If your doctor or especially your pediatrician, ask you if you have any guns in the house, I put a link to a site. You can print it out and take it in with you, where it talks about gun accidents and how they're at the very bottom of identifiable gun accidental deaths. I mean, swimming pools are many, many, many times more likely to result. I mean, falls, slips, car accidents, poisons. Guns are so far down, they're like a fraction of a percent. And so my question to the doctor would be, why are you asking about this? You haven't asked me about, do I have a swimming pool? You haven't asked me about this other stuff. And what makes you qualified to ask about this anyway? I mean, just because somebody's wearing a white coat or has a title in front of his or her name doesn't mean that he or she knows anything about the subject. And then they'll say, well, we have to ask this. And I'll say, well, I have to refuse to answer it, or I have to find somebody else. No, what I probably would say, because I don't want to be rude, is I say, no, you really don't, do you? You want to, but there's no requirement that you ask this. So since you don't have any formal training in this, and you're not certified in firearm safety, and oh, by the way, I am, we're going to move on now. Line 1, David's driving through Kansas. Hello, David. How you doing?
Hey, Tom. How you doing? I just had a question. I bought a 4440 Winchester Model 92 a couple of years ago for here in elk hunting in Colorado.
Okay.
And I've been finding out the 4440 ammo doesn't seem to have the punch power I need for shooting like 400, 500-yard shots. And I was wondering if a 44 caliber round would fit in that same rifle.
No, and no. No, it won't. It also, you bought the wrong gun. A 4440 is a 100-yard gun, period. That's all you got.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, did you not know what the ballistics were of a 4440 before you bought it?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I bought it
like,
because I like the looks of it. It was a really nice lever action, and I like that style.
And it's great for that. And look, it's a great elk gun, maybe kind of sort of. It's a little bit weak on that front, but inside 100 yards, it'd be okay, I guess. You're throwing a brick. I mean, you're talking a big old flat bullet. You're throwing a brick. It's not aerodynamic. It's not fast. It's not sleek. It will fall just the way if you were throwing a brick out there. It's just not going to go very far. If you want to shoot an elk at 300 or 400 yards, then you need something that is much faster and much more powerful. At least a 270, 30-06, 308, and maybe a 7 mag, 300 mag. Once you get to the 400-yard range, things change quickly. And I got to tell you, here's the other thing. There are not 3 people out of 100 who can reliably hit an elk at 400 yards. So if you have not tried shooting at a 9-inch paper plate and hitting it with every single shot at 400 yards, then I would suggest that you don't try it on an elk, okay? I appreciate it, but yeah, don't stick a devil with the kind of cartridge in there. Look, this just touched, appreciate the call. This has touched on one of my, you probably could tell, one of my pet peeves. I want to shoot animals way out there, 400 yards, 500 yards, 600 yards. Why? Are you that bad a hunter? Are you just that miserable at getting close to things? Because the way you judge a good hunter is how close you can get. Why are you shooting so far away? Are you lazy? Are you unable to walk? I mean, if you're physically unable, that's one thing. But to say, well, I want to take a long shot just because I want to take a long shot, could I suggest that maybe a little bit of an attitude adjustment is necessary here? Because these are living, breathing critters, and we owe them something. We owe them the ability to take the shot and anchor them with one shot and do everything we can to maximize that possibility. So here's my test, and I always just recommend this. Get you a 9-inch, roughly it's a 9-inch, what would you call it, a paper plate, 9, 10 inches, wherever they are, 9 to 10 inches. At whatever distance it is that you can put all your shots, first shot, everything, into it, you can shoot at that. If you keep stretching it out, whatever that is, 300 yards, 350, 400, where you fail to put every single shot into that 9-inch circle, then that's the max. You can't shoot any further than that. And you also are going to need a laser rangefinder. Because trust me, you cannot judge distance. Time and time again, we've tried this. Nobody, even hunting guides can't judge distance very well. A laser rangefinder, and they're cheap now. There's no reason not to have one. And people say, well, I've got a laser rangefinder, so therefore I can shoot a long way. No. The laser rangefinder should tell you, it's past my distance. I can't make this shot. When I hear somebody say, he was too far for me, I just couldn't make that shot reliably, I wasn't sure of that shot, I know I'm talking to a responsible hunter. I know I'm talking to somebody who has a strong ethic about hunting, who says, you know, he was 500 yards, and on a good day, everything right, I might could have made that shot, but I didn't know exactly what the wind was doing. And look, at 500 yards, the wind can blow your bullet off 3 or 4 feet. Easy. Have you shot in wind? Do you really think you're up to this? Now, if you are a serious, long-range competitive shooter, you can just disregard all this because you know what you're doing and you know how to make the shot. But most people, I'm going to suggest, have no business trying to shoot at a deer or an elk or an antelope at 400 yards because they can't do it every time. And if you can't do it every time, you shouldn't be trying it at all right? 866-TALK-GUNS. If you disagree with me, dive right in. 866-TALK-GUNS. Be right back.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could use your AR magazines in a bolt-action rifle? Now you can with Mossberg's MVP rifles. The patent-pending design is a first for bolt-action rifles. Choose from 5.56 and 223 to 204 Ruger, 300 AAC Blackout, and 308 Varmint, Predator, Patrol, and MVP Flex System models. Adjustable trigger too. AR mags in a bolt rifle. The Mossberg MVP. See more at mossberg.com.
Here's the deal. We're ammo to go. Ammo? You need it. We've got it. Low prices. You want it? We've got it. Selection and fast shipping. Yeah, we've got that too. Rifle ammo, pistol ammo, tracers, magazines, targets, ammo cans. Come on. Sure, we've got all that. Primers, pepper spray, knives. Hey, I'm just getting started. You need it. We've got it. AmmoToGo.com. AmmoToGo.com.
Looking for shooting instruction but don't know where to go? Well, we have it, and you can access hours of training and safety videos, which you can watch on your home computer. On GunTalkTV.com, we have top competitive shooters, the best in self-defense trainers, and folks who have hunted all over the world, helping you learn which gun to buy, how to use it, how to store it safely, and everything else you need to be a safe and competent shooter. We also have gun makers showing off their newest rifles, shotguns, and handguns. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran shooter or a complete beginner, you'll find what you need at GunTalkTV.com. You can check it out for free, and you can get full access for only $5.95 a month. That gives you unlimited access to hundreds of videos, and we're adding more all the time. Run the videos over and over to make sure you understand what's being said. Skip around. You're in control. Get smarter. Shoot better. Visit GunTalkTV.com.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
You may be a new shooter, a long-time gun owner, or even a police officer or soldier. No personal defense handgun is fully equipped without a Crimson Trace laser sight or light. Get the confidence and reliability you need to protect family, home, and country. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge. Crimson Trace.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Bore Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Bore Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Bore Tips help. To find a dealer, visit boretips.com.
Want your opinion to make a difference? Log on to our website and take the Gun Talk poll, www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Tom.
All right, 866-TALK-GUN will get you in here. Also, let me see what's going on over on Twitter. Yes, indeed. A lot of folks are liking that tweet I had about the print this out and take it into the doctor if the doctor asks you if you have any guns. So you could go over there and pick that up. You can pick up the link and you can print it out and have it ready when you go see your doctor, just in case he or she asks you if you own any guns. Well, I like what it says there. Do you own guns? Well, I don't. Or no, what is it? How'd it go? Oh, yeah, the guy said, doctor asked me if I had a gun. I said, no. I said, really? He said, yes, I don't have a gun. You know better than that, Tom. Okay, I get it. All right. Line 3, Gary is in Reno, Nevada. Hey, Gary, thanks for calling.
Thank you, Tom. Earlier, when you open your show with the person that is reworking a similar Model 88 Winchester lever, I don't have a computer. Is there any way I could get a physical address to write him a letter? And
I don't have that, and he's not ready for that information to come out yet. He's going to announce it. It's going to probably at SHOT Show in January. But this product is not on the market, and I don't think he wants this out for everybody. That's why I did not give out his name or any information about him. But I tell you what, as soon as he says it's okay to talk about it, I can give it out on the air.
Okay. Or I can pick it up through National Rifle.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that'll work. So I gather you've got some experience with 308 and maybe a Model 88?
My late wife and I have taken, she kept a chart every year, broke down what we shot and when and all this. Since 1958, we have taken 52 large game animals.
Huh.
Like your last comment after the other caller, we have never taken a long shot we didn't think we could make. And the longest shot I ever made was right at 400 yards, but it was the last day of antelope season with my 270, and I held about 4 inches above him, shooting downhill, and hit his spine. And he dropped. But we've never lost an animal. And a 270 is a left-handed 110L when they first came out in 1961, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And I still shoot that weapon.
You know, I have a left-handed Savage 110L in 7 mag, because it was the one that I started shooting with the semi-auto Model 100 Winchester, and then as quickly as I could, I got a left-handed bolt action, and that Savage was my first left-handed bolt action. So they're awfully good. They were good then, but they're even better now. I will tell you, they shoot a lot better now than they did back then. So, all right, Gary, I appreciate it. And if when he tells me we can talk about it, we'll get him on the air. We'll talk about the Model 88 and I hope maybe the 100. That would be great. That'd be fun. Line 2, Clarence is in Beaver, Utah. Hey, Clarence, you're on Gun Talk. See if Clarence is still listening. He's walked across the store. He's coming back. Evidently not. Okay. All right, let's go to line 4. Forrest is with us in Crescent City, Nevada. Hey, Forrest.
Hey, how you doing? I just called on a comment that I hunted with bow for years, and now I'm pretty much rely on rifle. And my general rule of thumb for shooting any game animal, if it's a long shot with a bow, for me, I just don't take the shot. That's usually right at about 100 yards is really, really pushing.
Boy, 100 yards would be a long way with a bow, even with the bows we have now. But, that's not a bad way to go. It's to say, look, I'm just going to limit my shots. Now, let me ask you this. When you limit your shots that way, how does it affect your hunting in terms of the experience that you have of getting up closer?
Well, part of it is when you're bow hunter, naturally, like I said, 100 yards is a long shot.
Right.
Usually with bow, you have to be within, this is going to sound funny, but I try to get within 25, 30 yards of my target.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many deer I passed up because I couldn't make the shot with a bow and arrow. And when I started hunting with a rifle, it was like, wow, you can really reach out.
I know.
But, when I was using bow, if I'd be out walking or something in the mountains or whatever, I used to try to kind of play around. I'd see a deer or something just to see, practice how close I could get to them before I spooked them.
Right. Well, that's the fun of it. Saying, okay, I'm going to be a woodsman. I'm actually going to try to get close, as opposed to being just a rifle shooter, which is one part of being a hunter, but it's not all of being a hunter. And you could probably tell I have a real problem with people who consider deer and elk and antelope to be nothing more than targets, and they just want to shoot something. I want to shoot something at 600 yards, 800 yards, 1,000 yards. Well, go shoot a target. Okay, don't do something where if you screw it up, and there's a high likelihood you will, that you're going to cause pain and suffering to something. Look, we owe it to these animals to do the best we can, to take them in one shot. There's just an ethic about this. So anyway, that's the way I look at it. Thanks, Forrest. I appreciate that. I know there are people out there going, oh, what an old fogey. What? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it. And I will tell you, I blame the gun magazines and to some extent the hunting magazines for some of this. They push the long-range stuff. How far can I shoot? How flat does it shoot? On and on and on. And I think they build expectations for people that are unrealistic. And people, they watch somebody who's really good at it, and there are some shooters who are incredibly good at it. And they think, well, if I had the same rifle, then I could do the same thing. No. It's really about your ability to shoot and less about the cartridge and the rifle and the scope and the package. And there are intrinsic skills that you learn only with experience of shooting long range and shooting in the wind and understanding what it does and shooting at angles. It's fun. I love long range shooting. Okay, how far have I shot? I think the longest shot I have made on a game animal, deer, elk, about 350 yards. Shortest shot I've made on a deer was with a rifle, 7, maybe 5 yards. Actually, one at 5 and one at 7 yards, with me on the ground, not in a tree. And a lot of them in the 20 to 40 yard range. Well, I like to get close. That's just part of the deal for me. Let's see. Line 2, James is in Oklahoma. Hey, James, 4570, huh?
Yeah. You know, I'm relatively new to hunting. I hunted with the 308 last year, and I'm just wondering if this 4570 is going to be an overkill for me. If you know, if it's going to be too devastating on the whitetail deer we hunt out here, or if you know, possibly, you know, ruin the meat. And I just wanted your take on that.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. There's no such thing as overkill. You can't kill anything deader than dead. It's just once it's dead, it's dead. Bullets kill through tissue damage. You're going to destroy some meat. If you shoot them right behind the shoulder, you will minimize the amount of meat that you damage or destroy, but don't worry about that, okay? 4570 is a great cartridge. What do you have one already?
Yeah, it's a Browning falling block action, they call it, and it's a really nice gun. I'm fairly accurate with it at 100 yards and 200 yards. Outside of that, I don't think I'd take a shot with it outside of, over 200 yards.
You might want to take a look at, there's some ammo out there called the Lever Evolution ammo from Hornady. Particularly
some of those bullets, and I reload, and I've found that it's pretty good load.
Yes, exactly right. So they work really well. They shoot flatter because they are pointed. The flat nose 4570 bullets are they're just not ballistically efficient, and they're good out to 150 yards or so, maybe 200. But you're really starting to get kind of a rainbow-shaped trajectory. But with those pointed bullets, you've got an easy 200-yard gun. You've got a nice rifle. Don't let anybody talk you out of it, and you will anchor a good-sized buck with that, no problem. Go out and enjoy it. The rifle looks good. It feels good. It shoots well. And frankly, you're going to be styling more than some of those other guys out there. Just appreciate the call. Just wanted to reconfirm, letting you know, we're going to be having Lieutenant Colonel Bob Brown is going to be on, Robert Brown, the creator and publisher of Soldier of Fortune magazine. We're going to be talking about what happened out in Colorado. You remember the recall? Yeah, well, he was involved in that. He can kind of give us an update of that. And also talking about his new book, all about the Soldier of Fortune magazine, what went into it, what it was, where he's been. You talk about the world's most interesting man, you got to put him real close to the top. Colonel Brown coming up with Soldier of Fortune.
One of Talker Magazine's 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. You're listening to Gun Talk, heard every week at this time on great radio stations across America. Stay tuned. Gun Talk is coming right back. Covering all aspects of gun ownership every week on this fine radio station. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, back with the 866-TALK-GUN. You can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. Love having interesting people on. And I'll tell you, one of the more interesting people you'll ever meet or run into is our next guest. You have certainly heard of Soldier of Fortune magazine. Well, we're joined now by the publisher, the creator of Soldier of Fortune magazine, Lieutenant Colonel Robert K. Brown. Colonel Brown, thank you for joining us.
Hey, my pleasure, Tom.
Absolutely. Now, you have obviously a brand new book out, and it's kind of the story, not just of the magazine, but it's really your story too, isn't it?
Well, basically, it is my story, and of course, it does touch upon the magazine because the magazine is wrapped up, or I'm wrapped up in the magazine's existence from the very beginning. So it certainly a lot of overlap there.
Okay, explain. I mean, you're a Green Beret, Special Forces, all this. You've done all this stuff around the world. Why create a magazine? What was the thing that made you think, we ought to have a magazine for this?
Well, what can I say? Maybe higher powers were guiding me, but it's one of these things. When I came back from Vietnam, as you can well imagine, I was very disillusioned by the attitude of large segments of the American public. And there are a lot of Vietnam veterans that I associated with that, although you could argue the point of whether we fought the war in the right way, certainly the blood that we spilled over there was just as red as the blood we spilled in Korea, World War II, or World War I. And that played a major part in deciding that we needed a voice for the Vietnam veteran to give recognition where recognition was due, because the courage, the valor, the sacrifices were just as great then as in previous conflicts, even though it was not later on a popular war in the United States.
Right. Okay, so you start this magazine, and when somebody asks, if you run in, it's unlikely you run into somebody that's never heard of it, but if somebody doesn't know what it is, how do you describe Soldier of Fortune magazine and what's in it?
Well, I would call it in a couple of words, just it's a military / adventure magazine. We cover a lot of the military actions throughout the world, and certainly our conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq, and wherever they're, and the war on terror. And of course, then we balance it out. It's kind of a unique situation, and we cover shooting gear, and of course, we do weapons evaluations every issue. Although we're not a gun magazine, we don't have the luxury. A lot of the gun magazines have devoted the entire magazine to test and evaluations. So it covers a wide spectrum of items, as well as the fact we are very strong supporters of the Second Amendment.
You know, somebody said, and I found it interesting, he said, probably with Soldier of Fortune, you opened a lot of people's eyes to what combat really is like and what really happens there, and may have even helped prepare a lot of soldiers as they're going out, so because their eyes were open when they headed out. Is that a fair assessment, do you think?
Well, I think it is, Tom, and certainly one of the factors that gives me great pleasure and satisfaction regarding what the magazine has done is the number of individuals that we have led into a military career. A good example, two examples. The first one, of course, is Chris Kyle. And I didn't know Chris. He was the famous sniper from Iraq. And I didn't know him personally. I met the man on one occasion. He was gracious enough to put an inscription in my copy of his book, in which he said that he had attributed his going in the service because of reading Soldier of Fortune magazine. So this gives me great pleasure. It's kind of a vicarious pleasure, if you will, but nonetheless, I feel we've made a definite contribution to the military and therefore the security of this country.
You have gone yourself and also sent journalists into battle all over the world. How do you find people who are going to write for you and yet are qualified to go do that?
Well, for the most part, people contact us, and I've been in this game a long, long time, like 38 years. So my antenna are pretty accurate as far as determining who has the capability and who doesn't. I can tell a phony pretty quick. And so I have people contacting me all the time that want to write or that submit material on their own volition. And I can pretty much, and I'm perhaps bragging a bit here, but I'm pretty good at separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak.
And there is a lot of BS out there, people who claim that they can do things or have done things that they haven't.
Well, that's certainly true, and that's been one of my sore points, and a lot of other veterans is these phony veterans that come up with all kinds of phony medals and stories. And fortunately, the government has taken some action against some of these people and thrown some of them in jail, which is very fortuitous and getting the word out that these people aren't going to be allowed to deceive the American public and take advantage of what we veterans actually have done.
Now, the book is titled, I Am Soldier of Fortune, Dancing with Devils. What's the Dancing with Devils?
Well, that's just a good, catchy eye-catcher, if you would.
Okay.
I really can't explain that. It just sounded good to me, and that's like the title Soldier of Fortune magazine. We agonized over a great deal of the chaps that were involved in putting this together with myself many, many decades ago, and we came up with the title Soldier of Fortune because it was catchy. And Dancing with Devils, I guess you could say, we met a lot of them. I have in the course of 38 years. some are good, some are bad, but this is typical of every aspect of society.
Sure. There you go. Now, you were involved, I gather, in this most recent recall effort out in Colorado, where 2 of the state senators got recalled. That was a fascinating little piece of political theater.
Well, it was quite incredible, and let me say from the very beginning here, I was involved in a minor way, although I do take pride in the fact I was involved to a certain degree. It was incredible what was able to be done out here by grassroots, and of course the NRA helped considerably too in these 2 elections. But the one that was the most impressive to me was the one down in Pueblo, where you had 3 plumbers, essentially. You're talking about quintessential grassroots activism, and they put on a campaign that beat the Democrat that had not been a Democrat that had won her seat by 20 points, and she got beat by 12. So they did an incredible job down there, and it was really rewarding to see how people rose up because of the dissatisfaction with the kind of garbage that the Colorado legislature had passed regarding gun rights. And then, of course, the governor had signed into law, but it was nice to see that grassroots people were able to mobilize, and then they won. Yeah. Of course, we've got this election now, another recall effort.
Right.
And it's a very hard one, a very difficult one, because they've got to raise 25,000 signatures, or I should say, get them on petition.
Hey, Bob, hold on just a second, would you please? I've got to run to a quick break here because I want to talk about that, because people don't know there's another recall coming up in Colorado we need to talk about. We're talking with Lieutenant Colonel Bob Brown. He is the author of a brand new book. You want to jump on Amazon, take a look at it. It's called I Am Soldier of Fortune, Dancing with Devils. 866 Talk Guns. Be right back.
The Ruger SR-45, a large caliber pistol with a trim, ergonomic profile. Like the popular Ruger SR-9 and SR-40, the SR-45 is perfectly sized to be comfortable and controllable with a slim, ergonomic grip and narrow slide. It features an adjustable 3-dot sight system, Ruger's unique reversible back strap, an ambidextrous manual safety and magazine release, and built-in Picatinny rail. The Ruger SR-45, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Hello?
Hi, honey. What are you looking for in the safe?
Oh, I was just... Wait a second. How'd you know I was in the safe?
Oh, because I put in Liberty's Safe Alert security system, so now it sends me an alert whenever the door is open.
Well, aren't you smart?
But that's not all, honey. Safe Alert also warns me when the temperature is too cold or too hot. It even tells me when the safe has been jostled. I can even find out what the humidity is inside the safe. Best part is, honey, it works in any safe.
So you knew right away when I opened the door? How does it let you know?
Well, it sends an alert directly to my smartphone. And the cool part is the unit was only $199, and Liberty Safe covers the monitoring for life.
Now we don't have to worry when we're out of town. We'll know what's going on with the safe.
And I'll know my guns are safe.
And my jewelry and the family photos.
Yep. We'll add your phone for free so we both get the alerts.
For more information on Safe Alert, go to libertysafe.com. That's libertysafe.com.
You bet your life on your defense ammo. Get the proven performance of Nosler bullets in the new Nosler Defense Ammunition, featuring the same technology as the famous AccuBond line. Polymer tipper hollow point, bonded performance handgun bullets for weight retention and barrier penetration. Available only in Nosler Defense Ammunition in 9mm, 40, and 45 caliber. Also available in 223 with a 64 grain bullet. Visit Nosler.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At shopguntalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's Instruction. Shopguntalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at GalleryofGuns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
Save up to $50 at CrimsonTrace.com. Laser sighting systems from Crimson Trace will make you a more accurate and confident shooter. No personal protection firearm is fully equipped without a laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Visit CrimsonTrace.com November 29th through December 25th and save up to $50 on the one tool no personal protection firearm should be without. A Crimson Trace laser sight. Save up to $50 Black Friday through Christmas Day at CrimsonTrace.com.
Questions? Comments? Please email Tom at guntalk.com. During the show, you can call Tom at 866-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, back to Gun Talk.
All right, we're talking with Colonel Bob Brown. He is the author, of course, the creator of Soldier of Fortune magazine, but also the author of I Am Soldier of Fortune, Dancing with Devils. If you want to grab a copy of it, we actually have it up on our website, guntalk.com. You can click on Tom's Picks. It's right there. You can click right through. You can buy a copy of it. Fascinating. And Colonel Brown, I said, if you're not the most interesting man in the world, you're awfully darn close to it. Do you have any idea how many countries you've been to anyway?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do you have any idea how many countries you have been to?
Yeah, yes, I do. Probably between 60 and 65.
It's amazing. Now, well, I did want to get in.
I've covered conflicts in one respect or the other, probably in about 15 different countries. Everything from Afghanistan to the Middle East, to the Gulf War, Panama, Grenada, certainly with the ethnic minorities in eastern Burma against the Burmese dictatorship. It goes on and on. So I've been a few places. Not every place, but been around a little bit.
I guess. Now, we were talking about this upcoming, and we know about the recall that happened. It was successful for two politicians in Colorado, but there's a new one coming out, or it's underway right now. It's Senator Hudak. Is it E-V-H-U-D-A-K?
Yeah, that's correct. And once again, it's being promulgated or pushed by grassroots activists, and they need all the help they can get because the Democrats have engaged in a lot of intimidation and, frankly, lies in an effort to stop this effort from getting sufficient signatures. So if your listeners are interested in following up on this, they should check their website, which is recallhudak2.org, and that's recall Hudak, H-U-D-A-K, T-O-O.org. They need all the help they can get because there's a lot of out-of-state money coming in from left-wing groups.
Right.
And there's intimidation, too. The Democrats have ended up going around putting door hangers claiming that people trying to gather signatures, or I should say signature gatherers, have not passed a criminal background check. Well, that's not
exactly. Yeah, they're saying that they're sex offenders and other things, and making people afraid to open their doors when people come and knock on the door to get signatures. So yeah, you can Google it. You can go online. Colonel, thank you so much. I'm sorry we're out of time. I appreciate it. It's a fabulous book. I recommend it highly. Go to our website, check it out. You can buy it there. You can get it off Amazon. It's Soldier of Fortune. Dancing with Devils. I Am Soldier of Fortune, Dancing with Devils. Fascinating. All right, 866-TALK-GUNS. That'll get you in here. Let's talk about the guns that you like.
Gun Talk stands for safety, personal responsibility, and common courtesy. To be a part of the show, call 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Gun Talk will be right back. Gun Talk would like to say thanks to our longtime loyal listeners who put their trust in us every week and depend on us to answer your questions and keep you informed. Now, Tom Gresham's Gun Talk continues.
Following up on this information about Evie Hudak, the Colorado senator, that there's a recall effort there. She was recently, she was challenged by a woman named Amanda Collins who had been raped, and Ms. Collins was saying that she really needed to be able to have a gun for self-defense, and unbelievably, Senator Hudak says, well, statistically, no, the statistics are not on your side. It said, you said this guy was large, and he was able to overcome you even with your skills, your taekwondo skills, and chances are that if you had a gun, then he would have been able to take that away from you and possibly use it against you. Whereupon Ms. Collins says, respectfully, Senator, you weren't there. Typical. People always say, what can I do to help? What can I help with the Second Amendment? Here's one right here. You could throw some dollars at this to help this recall go forward, because the anti-gunners have figured out this is real, and we are coming after them, and we are going to cost them their jobs in the Senate and the House and wherever else we can. And now they're getting nasty. They're doing robocalls. They're doing these hang tags on your doors that say people who are trying to get signatures for the recall are sex offenders. Don't open your door to them. Don't let them in, that kind of stuff. So you can go to the website, recall Hudak, Hudak2TOO.com. We'll get you there. Let's see. I wanted to get the 30 caliber areas. Line 3, Gavin's with us out of Louisiana. Hello, Gavin. Talk to me about a 30 cal.
It's Calvin.
Calvin, how are you?
Just fine.
Good.
I used a 30 caliber in Vietnam in '67, and I bought me another one several years ago. What is about the best range on that for distance for deer hunting?
Well, the 30 caliber, and it's really it's a pistol cartridge, and if you're going to use it for hunting, you really need to get some expanding bullets, some soft nose bullets, not the full metal jacket bullets.
Yeah, I got the soft nose.
Okay. I would say it's probably a good 100-yard gun. Would that sound reasonable to you?
Well, yeah. I've cut it down to between 50 and 75.
Yeah, that's probably reasonable. I think that's a really good way to think of it. It's an inside 100-yard gun. And I know people say, well, 30 caliber isn't any good for anything. Oh, no. If you know what you're doing with it, you can definitely take deer with a 30 caliber carbine. Not a problem. Have you ever shot a deer with it?
Yeah.
Okay, how'd it work?
Well, it dropped, jumped up, went about 10 foot, and dropped again.
Well, there you go. That's what you're looking for. It converts deer into venison, so there you go. But no, the 30 caliber is fine, and I think your decision to limit that to 50 to 60 yards is a good one. Hey, Calvin, listen, I appreciate the call. Great story. Long time ago, my dad was telling me a story. He was hunting with a guy. The guy was using a 30 caliber carbine, and Dad said, well, that's not much of a deer cartridge. And the guy said he looked a little bit hurt. He said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's not much. The guy said, well, I never lost a deer with it. Dad said, well, how many deer have you killed with it? He said, he thought for a minute. He says, I don't know, about 60. That'll work. So be careful about telling somebody else that their choice of guns or rifle or whatever isn't good. You maybe talk to somebody who really knows how to use it. Speaking of that, coming up, we're going to be talking about what's new in hunting ammunition and hunting bullets. And let me tell you, the new bullets are amazing. So we're going to get an inside story on that. I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting. 866-TALK-GUNS. Be right back.
Firearms, ammunition, recreational and competitive shooting, training, hunting, and yes, even politics. You're listening to Gun Talk. Call us now at 1-866-825-5486. That's 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Or reach out to us via email at tom@guntalk.com.